What's up, guys? In this video I'll explain to you how to eat, alright? Whether your goal is building some muscle mass, losing body fat, or both at the same time, alright? In many scenarios this is possible, whether you're a beginner or many other scenarios. I'll talk about this a bit later, but this video will help you whether you're bulking, you're cutting, understanding nutrition, and how to set up your diet plan. Alright, let's jump straight into it. There's 3 macronutrients: proteins, fats, and carbs. Alright, proteins, the building muscle, nutrients that you need to build muscle mass. All right, if you want to build muscle mass, you need to make sure that you're meeting the required amount of protein, which is on average, there's a rule of thumb that will tell you between 0.8 grams per pound per body weight up until 1.5. Even for some people, they can go all the way up to 2 grams per pound per body weight. All right, and I'll tell you when you should go a bit higher, when you should go a bit lower. So protein are very satiating, which means they fill you up. All right, eating 2 chicken breasts will be super full as opposed to eating 400 grams of white rice, right? Protein are satiating, they will fill you up. So if you're someone that is, in my case now, on post-show, post-contest, the hunger is through the roof, that's when I'm increasing my protein. If you're someone trying to lean down, but you're always hungry because you're in a deficit, that's when protein has to go a little bit higher, all right? But if you're someone that is trying to bulk up, why are you eating all that chicken? Why are you eating all that protein? You're always full and you have no more space to eat the carbs and you have no more space to eat your fats. And that's why you're not able to go above maintenance and be in a surplus, is because you're overeating on protein. So in your case, it's smarter and wiser to drop down those protein intake and be more around the 0.8 gram per body pound, just to make sure per pound per body weight, just to make sure you're not losing any muscle mass. Because just eating Pop-Tarts and donuts all day, even if you're in a surplus, is not going to be ideal, all right? So you want to make sure you're meeting and getting enough protein, and that's why you want to go around the 0.8 gram per pound per body weight. But if you're cutting, or you're post-show, or you're always hungry, bump up those proteins. A lot of people tell me, I'm always hungry, I'm not able to lose weight. Okay, what did you eat today? Oh, I just had bread and cheese. Increase your proteins, my friend, and trust me, it will be a game changer for you. Now, my 5 favorite sources of protein, I'll talk about this. Number 1, red meat. I'm a big fan of red meat, all right? Beef, bison, lamb, any kind of red meat. Why? Because of its micronutrients profile. Very high in B12, which is very hard to find. The zinc, the iron, is just super powerful, all right? Red meat is very powerful. Don't avoid it, don't neglect it. The last 4 weeks of my show, I had no red meat and I did feel it. Now that I'm eating back red meat, I just feel so powerful. I was at the gym, I was doing pull-ups, it felt like I was lifting some air, all right? Maybe it's because I got too light also. So red meat. Number 2, eggs. Eggs are super bioavailable, all right? A lot more bioavailable than eating peanuts for protein, all right? So eat your eggs, guys. They're very good, very important. If you're someone that is trying to lean down, that's when you can optimize, prioritize a bit more the egg whites. I'm not a big fan of just doing egg whites, so make sure at least you throw a whole egg in there. And if you're someone trying to bulk up, get those whole eggs in, all right? The whole eggs, very high in vitamins and minerals in the yolk, the biotin, the choline, vitamin D, vitamin K. All right, moving on. Number 3, one of my favorite sources of protein. Yes, Greek yogurt. I love Greek yogurt. High in what is it called? Yeah, micronutrients, calcium. Sorry, I was looking at the window. A lot of calcium in there, but also probiotic, guys. The probiotic in there, it's very good for your gut microbiome. I love Greek yogurt. I get 0% fat plain Greek yogurt, and I would eat that as a dessert with some fruits. I just love having my Greek yogurt. I have it daily, whether I'm dieting or trying to bulk up. All right, moving on. A lean source of meat, mostly white meat, and not because of its micronutrients, but because it's low in calories, low in fat, and it's pretty convenient. You know, for me, tuna cans is the easiest thing. I just open a tuna can, put some lemon juice in there, a bit of veggies, and there I have a good meal if I'm trying to cut down my carbs. All right, if you're someone that is trying to bulk up, that is when you don't want to overdo those lean sources of meat, and you want to actually go more for something like salmon. Yes, because of its omega-3, but also because it's high in calories and higher in fats. All right, so if you're bulking up, prioritize a salmon. If you're someone trying to cut down, you want to prioritize for that source of protein more something leaner. Number 5, I love whey protein. And now you might say, well, whey protein is not real food. It actually is. It's dehydrated milk. All right, and it's super convenient, very bioavailable. And after my workouts, even before my workouts, I don't want to digest food. I just want to get my food in my bloodstream super fast and get them to my biceps. And that is why I love whey protein. There's not one day that I don't drink whey protein. Rest day, training day, doesn't matter. I'm getting my protein in. All right. So between 0.8 to 1.5 gram per pound per body weight, make sure you play around with that, whether you're bulking or cutting. That's where you can increase or lower. And guys, I'm just giving you a baseline, you tweak it. All right, I made a plan before for a friend, so I told him you tweak it. So let's say you're eating 200 grams of protein, but you're super hungry. Well, instead of eating more carbs, just eat more protein, because it's gonna help you stay in that deficit. If you're trying to shred down, stay in that deficit and not overeat. All right, so moving on, fats are essential, guys, and that's why it's my second macronutrients that I'm talking about, because they are essential. You need fat for proper hormonal balance. You need fats to keep everything running smoothly. You need fats to actually digest and absorb the vitamins and minerals in your body. All right, so fats are crucial, but overdoing them won't give you more results. So doing too much fat won't be better than just doing the essential. And actually, it wouldn't be smart if you're someone trying to, even if you're bulking or cutting, because it's not going to translate into a better performance at the gym, because it's not your body's main source of energy. It's not going to replenish your muscle glycogen and not going to help you build more muscle mass. It's fat intake. All right, so it will help you with your hormonal balance. It will help you with your hormones, like I said, absorb all the nutrients, but don't overdo it. And that's why the little guideline that I will give you would be between 0.5 gram per pound per body weight, especially for naturals. You don't want to go under that, up all the way up to 1 gram per pound per body weight. You know, some people go above that. I'm not a big fan of fats. I'm not. I said in my other videos, you don't want to limit them for naturals, but it doesn't mean that you want to overdo them. All right, I'm a big believer that I've tried it on myself. Not that I'm a big believer. I was going almost no fat pre-contest. And trust me, my libido was down, my hormones were down, my brain function was down, and I'm slowly incorporating a bit more fat in my diet, but it takes time to get everything and the hormones back up and running from all the stress. All right, so let's say you're 150 pounds, or let's say you're 200 pounds, 100 grams of fats a day. That would be where you wanna shoot for, and then adjust from there. All right, don't go for 20 grams of fat a day and just increasing your carbs and protein, because then you will impact your hormones and libido, and you will see it. You just won't feel as good. All right, so keep those fats at a minimum of 0.5 gram per pound per body weight. Me, I'm 150, let's say 55. Let's call it 100. Let's call it 160 because I'm bulking back up. That would mean I would need 50 grams, around 75 grams of fat, which actually I am not getting. I'm lower than that. But I'm building it back. But if you're natural, don't go too low fat. Trust me, guys, you will pay the price for it. Do not go too low fat. All right? Actually, I think the rule would be better. I think the rule would be better for 0.5 gram per kilo. I gotta really look into it. You know, because fats are something that you really want to make sure that you're nailing it. All right, so if ever some of you guys have anything to say, leave it down below. All right, you see, I'm like always learning. Even now, before doing this video, I'm taking a course about nutrition, and I took a course about nutrition a year ago, and I'm learning new stuff, and a lot of things that I learned actually don't make as much sense anymore for me. All right, everybody can give you a course, but a lot of time you gotta really look deep into studies and try things out for yourself. It's only how do I say it? It's only the crazy people that never change their mind. Always change your mind, reassess things. Take a look back and be like, maybe more fat is better, maybe lower fat is better. All right, so Favorite 5 sources of fat, like I said, egg yolk. I love the egg yolk, the choline, the biotin, the vitamin D, the vitamin K, and also it tastes amazing. All right, I have daily now 3 egg yolks every single day. Post a pre-show, I was doing 1 egg yolk, and that was most of my fat, and I was feeling very bad. Number 2, omega-3 pills. I'm having every single day omega-3 pills because I don't want to eat salmon because it's too high in calories. So now I'm doing omega-3 pills. I'll do like 3-4 pills a day. Number 3 would be salmon, avocado, but nut butters. I love the taste of nut butter, but I'm not a big fan of eating nuts because it's so easy to overeat. All right, even avocados, I find them easy to overeat, but nut butter, I will really measure it and put it in my, let's say, cream of rice or oats, and that's all I'm gonna be eating. All right, fats are something that are so easy to overeat. Cheese, oil. The other day I saw someone adding some oil in his shakes, and I'm like, you just added 300 calories worth of oil, all right, and it's not even enhancing your taste, and it doesn't make sense to me. All right, at least enjoy those fats when you're getting them, and that's why I'm a big fan of let's say enjoying them in my nut butter. That's really, or eggs, whole eggs. Those are my tastier sources. Now moving on, let's talk about carbs. So carbs will be the rest of your calorie budget. Carbs are your body's main source of energy. All right, so if you're someone that is really trying to optimize your training performance, you want to make sure that your carbs are optimized. All right, keeping your carbs low, fats and protein high, you're not gonna have the best performance at the gym. All right, even when you're cutting down, the last thing you want to remove, I would say, would be carbs, because carbs is gonna impact your performance at the gym, which will impact your muscle mass. So carbs are something that I really take super seriously, and the sources of carbs are very important. Whether I'm doing oats or white rice or cream of rice, it's very important that you play around with it depending on your goal. If you're someone trying to bulk up, you don't want to be eating a lot of brown rice and oatmeal and quinoa. All right, you want to optimize things that are easy to digest, such as white rice, white potatoes, cream of rice. I'm a big fan of cream of rice, and so on and so forth. All right. Well, let's talk about my favorite source of carbs. White rice, white potato, sourdough bread. I love sourdough bread. But for me, sourdough bread is kind of a hunger trigger food. So as soon as I eat 1 slice of bread, I can eat the whole thing. The whole thing. And that's why I'm very careful with bread. I don't want to overdo it. And now I'm keeping off of my diet because I'm post-show. I don't want to overdo bread. I don't want to overdo my calories. I don't want to binge eat. And that's why I've got no bread. All right? If you're someone trying to cut down, go more for something like whole grain bread, for example, oatmeal, quinoa. You know, I'm not a big fan of quinoa, but quinoa, sweet potatoes, and so on and so forth. All right. I also am a big fan of fruits. I want to keep fruits in my diet, whether I'm bulking or I'm cutting down. All right, I'm always having my bananas, my apples, my strawberries, my blueberries. It's all counted as carbs. And yes, your body will digest them well. A lot of people fear fruits, but fruits are great, and they're high in vitamins and minerals. And also they will help your body hydrate super well. All right, so once you set up your protein and fat number, the rest will be your carbs. So let's say you maintain at 2,500 and you're trying to lean down and you want to eat 2,300, all right, and you had, let's say, I don't know, 500 calories left. Well, those 500 calories could be your carbs, all right, or 600 or 700 could be your carbs, and you want to spread them out through your day, but make sure that 40% at least of those carbs are around your training, pre and post workout. So it won't make sense for you to have, let's say, 20 grams pre-workout of carbs, 20 gram post, and then in the evening having all your carbs where you won't need it. But make sure that 40% at least. For me, it's even more. I like having around 60% of my carb intake pre and post workout. That's just how I feel the best. I really train for long and I train high volume and high intensity, so I really need a lot of carbs pre and post. And for the rest of the day, I feel pretty good keeping my carbs low. All right, let's talk quickly about the GI index. A lot of people will say, well, don't eat just white rice, it's gonna spike up your insulin and this and that. Guys, this is BS. There's studies also that debunked it. But when you're mixing white rice, for example, or something that is super high GI index with a protein source, the protein will slow down its digestion. All right, veggies. Let's say you're having white rice, veggies, and broccoli, or white rice, white rice, protein, and a veggie source. Well, you're eating a bite of everything together, which will slow down the digestion. So don't fear the GI and the spike of insulin and the blood sugar and this and that, because a lot of it is BS. All right, that's pretty much it for this video. I want to say one thing. If you're trying to lean down, I'm not a big fan of added fats. So we see a lot of people adding tablespoon of peanut butter or adding avocados every single meal. If you're trying to lean down, it's not something that I would do, because you're getting enough fats from your meats, your chicken, your eggs, your yogurt, sometimes in the protein shake, in the oats. All right, so don't neglect those trace amounts, because they will count at the end of the day, and those little details will make a big difference. That's pretty much it for this video. Let me know if it was helpful, if you like those kind of video, and I'll see you in the next one. I'll see you guys soon. Ciao.